This is Mac OS Ken.
Reaction to Apple's earnings report. Apple moves to increase iPhone and ad sales, and heading back to school with the Peanuts gang. It is Monday, the 1st of August, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Trade Coffee. Get $30 off your first order plus free shipping at drinktrade.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Notion, one workspace for your whole team. Even before the pandemic, getting everybody together for big tasks could be tough. But there are ways to get on the same page that don't involve being in the same place. Ways like Notion, the all-in-one team collaboration tool that combines note-taking, document sharing, wikis, project management, and much more into one space that is simple, powerful, and beautifully designed. I got a friend right now who just switched to a huge project at their big corporate job. The project involves an even bigger corporate partner, and that partner does not run a wiki or a shared document or anything to keep track of who said what, who is doing what, when things are expected. It's just meeting after meeting trying to recreate what was said last time and deciding again how to move forward with really no common frame of reference. Why be that way when there is Notion? Notion provides one central and customizable workspace that can be tailored to fit any team and bring all teams together to get more done and move faster. Or move it all. That's everything from small teams of a few people to huge companies like Headspace and Pixar. I know it could have helped me on past projects. See what Notion can do for you. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSKen. That's notion.com/macOSKen to help you take the first step toward an organized, happier team today. NOTION. That's notion.com/macOSKen. On the heels of Apple's June quarter earnings report, nobody seems to have changed their rating on Apple shares, though Apple 3.0 did have word of two price target changes. One analyst lowered their 12-month price target on Apple shares by $5 to $185, while another raised their 12-month price target on Apple shares by $5 to $185. Because the world's a funny place. Raymond James analyst Melissa Fairbanks did the cutting, though she did reiterate her firm's outperform rating on Apple shares. Honestly, there was nothing in the part of her note posted on Apple 3.0 to indicate why she lowered her price target. Maybe $190 is just a bit too high in what she refers to as times of uncertainty. Bumping their target up was Evercore analyst Amit Daryanani. To the Analyst, Apple revenue appear more driven by supply constraint versus macro worries, though they did note pockets of softness due to macro. Still, he and his think Apple remains uniquely positioned to sustain mid to high single-digit sales and low to mid-teens earnings per share growth in fiscal 2023 and potentially beyond. He's got an outperform rating on Apple shares and the aforementioned price target of $185. Pulling from a couple of other notes of note, Loop Ventures principal Gene Munster hung on what he saw as the most important comment from the call. It was Apple CEO Tim Cook's assessment that, in respect to the iPhone, there was no obvious evidence of macroeconomic impact during the June quarter, besides foreign exchange. Like a guy from Gilroy, Munster says, the iPhone is stronger than an acre of garlic. Taking a more balanced approach, BofA securities analyst Wamsi Mohan listed a few points for the bulls and a few points for the bears from Apple's call. Points on which bears will focus include gross margins that are heading back lower for foreign exchange and mix reasons, slowing growth in services, and weakness in the wearables, home, and accessories category. Meanwhile, points for the bulls include the record June quarter, strength for iPhone, and Apple's growing installed base and record number of switchers. Mohan reiterated his firm's buy rating on Apple stock, saying many issues with the company seem cyclical, not structural. His firm's price target on the shares is a familiar-sounding $185. At least a couple of times on last week's earnings call, Apple executives mentioned trade-ins and trade-ups in relation to iPhone. Now 9to5Mac says they are part of a revamp of Apple's online iPhone shopping experience. The piece says Apple has given the iPhone checkout page on its website a major overhaul. The new design features larger images, quicker access to shopping assistance, and more. There's also a bigger emphasis on trading in other devices as well. I will say the new design is more inviting, with much larger pictures than the previous version. While bigger images are big, 9to5Mac says one of the biggest changes with the redesign is that there is a larger emphasis on trading in. After you configure your iPhone, you'll be asked whether or not you have a device to trade in. There is a new video explaining the trade-in process and a full-screen interface for checking values. A somewhat surprising entry into Apple's Refurbished Store. A piece from the Mac Observer says Apple's like-new offerings now include iPhone 12 mini. Or did include. Like a lot of new entries, the product seems to have run out almost as soon as it got to the Refurbished Store. That happens a lot, though. Safe to assume it will stay in the rotation. What had been on offer, according to TMO, was a 128GB model for $579. That's $100 off the $679 one would pay for a new 128GB iPhone 12 mini. It's also $20 less than a new model with 64GB of storage. Every Apple-certified refurbished product completes a rigorous refurbishment process that includes full functional testing according to Apple's Refurb site. They also come with a 1-year warranty, according to the piece. If the smaller form factor and lower price pique your interest, be on the lookout. Against a weakening outlook for its App Store search ad business, Apple is apparently making room for more ads. In answer to a question about where Apple was seeing the effect of macroeconomic uncertainty on last week's earnings call, Apple CEO Tim Cook indicated that a downturn in search ads in the App Store was one of the most prominent places. So maybe they'll make that up in volume. A report from my Download blog says Apple on Friday announced the addition of 2 new ad slots in the App Store, one in the Today section and a dedicated slot in individual app pages. So much news happens so fast it is difficult to know what news people have heard and what they have not. There has been massive flooding in the eastern part of Kentucky over the last few days. A Sunday evening report on Axios put the death toll at 28, though Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said another 37 people were unaccounted for as of yesterday. As it tends to do, Apple has pledged support for the region. Apple CEO Tim Cook took to Twitter Sunday evening with the message, "Our hearts are with everyone impacted by the devastating floods in Kentucky and surrounding states. To everyone in harm's way, please stay safe. Apple will be donating to community relief and recovery efforts." Apple's first physical store for India has apparently been delayed again. A report from that country's Economic Times says the store, originally planned for 2021, is now targeted for the first quarter of 2023. The exact reason for the latest delay is unclear. According to the report, reasons are attributed in part to pandemic-related issues such as interior fitting and other supplies getting delayed due to the squeeze in shipping. So, COVID issues, supply chain issues, new normal issues. The piece says the Mumbai store is currently one of 2 Apple retail locations planned for next year. 2023 should also see the company open a new store in New Delhi at select City Walk Mall in Sikhet. Both will be anchor stores for their respective malls, according to the report. More news in a moment, but first a word from Trade Coffee. When it comes to mail, I'm a child. I go to the mailbox hoping to find something delightful and usually return with junk mail and bills. Then there are the days when I get the latest bag from Trade Coffee. Trade Coffee sends you freshly roasted beans from 60 of the country's best craft roasters, small businesses who pay farmers fair prices to sustainably source the greatest beans from around the world. I'm currently enjoying night moves from the roaster Airship out of Bentonville, Arkansas. How does Trade know what to send you? Well, you tell them. You take their coffee quiz, then their coffee experts find just the right roast for you. Trade has been shipping me coffee for months now, and while some have been better than others, not one has disappointed. But they want you to be sure with their first match guarantee. Trade is so confident that they'll match you right the first time that if they don't, they'll take your feedback, put you together with an actual coffee expert, and send you a brand new bag for free. If you care about the coffee in your cup, try Trade. Right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order, plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/macOSKen. That is more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Get started by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/macOSKen and let Trade find you a coffee you'll love. That's drinktrade.com/macOSKen for $30 off. Apple subsidiary Beats is out with another co-branded set of stoppers. Under 2 weeks ago, the audio hardware maker released a pair of FaZe Clan Beats Studio Buds. Now Cult of Mac says they've done it again, this time with design firm Futura Laboratories. According to the piece, the new set, Futura X Beats Studio Buds, sport Futura's signature Atom motif. Futura also developed a custom Apple Music playlist featuring songs that are reflective of Futura's New York City background. While the Cult says the mini music machines are available through Beats, End Clothing, and Futura Laboratories, the only place I could find them was Futura. Wherever you find them, they will set you back $150. Happy hunting. Award nominations for Apple TV Plus titles, these in a whole new category. The Cupertino streamer issued a press release late last week announcing its first ever news and documentary Emmy Award nominations. The 6 nominations cover various awards for 4 shows: The Line, Fathom, 9/11, Inside the President's War Room, and Watch the Sound with Mark Ronson. The release says winners of the 43rd Annual News and Documentary Emmy Awards will be announced at ceremonies on the 28th and 29th of September. Looks like Martin Scorsese's director's chair is not going anywhere, and neither is Leonardo DiCaprio's trailer. A piece from Deadline says the two, currently working on Killers of the Flower Moon for the Cupertino streamer, have another film planned for Apple, an adaptation of David Grann's book, The Wager, a tale of shipwreck, mutiny, and murder. Actually, it's kind of a re-team for the 3 parties. Grann also wrote the book, Killers of the Flower Moon. Of The Wager, Deadline says the film, set in the 1740s, will watch as the British naval ship The Wager is wrecked on a desolate island off the tip of South America, with the captain and crew then struggling to survive and maintain order while battling not only the most extreme elements, but their own human natures. So it's another tiny film from Martin Scorsese. No word on production or release dates for the film. And finally today, the next in the ever-growing list of Peanuts specials is out in a couple of weeks. Apple TV Plus issued a press release Friday announcing Lucy's School, an all-new special celebrating educators. Describing the show, the release says, the Peanuts gang are anxious about starting at a new school in the fall, inspiring Lucy to start her own school instead. But teaching isn't as easy as it sounds. Lucy's school is a love letter to teachers and an appreciation of the impact a teacher can have on a child. It explores the fear of change and shows how Lucy, supported by her friends, faces and overcomes her own fears. Lucy's School hits Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 12th of August, the same day as new episodes of The Snoopy Show. You can catch a trailer for the special on YouTube. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Notion, one workspace for your whole team. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Trade Coffee. Get $30 off your first order plus free shipping at drinktrade.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.